Hey everybody, TacticalBoondoggle here. Just wanted to do a different kind of review, show a little more of my face on camera. Today's review is going to be on some Frog Lube, and this is what it looks like. It's some green stuff, and just to go down a quick list of pros and cons. The pros of it, the reason I particularly bought it was because it smells really good. It smells kind of minty, winter, freshy. It's got a great smell to it, and you know, my family in the past has definitely complained on some cleaners not smelling so great, so just kind of wanted to try something new, and had seen a lot of good information on the web about it and thought I'd try it myself. It's a kind of multifunctional cleaner, lubricant, protectant, so I kind of like that rather than just purely, you know, a lube. And third thing was it's biodegradable. You know, I didn't have to worry about, you know, if my dog got a hold of it or something, that it would screw her up real bad. Not that it would really have, I've had that issue, but just something to be cognizant of, you know, environmental type things, why not? But it advertises a no jams, and today I came across a condition where I believe it was Frog Lube's fault that my gun was jamming. So I was out there today shooting my GSG 1911. The gun is in fact safe. This has been my test gun for the Frog Lube, and what I did was I took it to the range for the last month and ran 50 rounds, only 50 rounds of Federal Target 22 LR through this puppy, and wanted to make sure that, you know, I was a pretty controlled type of scenario. While doing that, today I had a ton of fail to ejects. Literally the slide would not even come back. It was quite frustrating, and so didn't want to really take the gun apart at the range. Decided to continue shooting, but when I got home I took it apart, and what I realized in taking it apart was the lubrication was still relatively good throughout the pistol, but it had turned into sort of a gunky mess rather than maintaining its lubrication qualities. And of particular concern was the actual rod here that the spring rides on. It had gotten so gunked up and sticky that it was having a very hard time moving the spring. With that condition, it resulted in literally the slide not even coming back at all. I would fire the pistol, bang, and it wouldn't move. The slide wouldn't come back to recoil at all. It was kind of embarrassing. So when I brought it home, took it apart, and multiple parts of the gun were really sticky. Now, for my controlled test, what I was doing was I was taking the pistol, I'd run 50 rounds through it, and put it away. And then the next week, go out again, put 50 more rounds through it, put it away. So just a month worth of testing. And I don't know how many other guns, I mean, especially Glocks and CZs and stuff, that I do very similar things with and never have problems with. I haven't been using the Frog Lube on them. I've been using it on 2 other pistols, but the most commonly shot pistol out of my arsenal is the 22, just because it's cheap and it's fun. And this is one of my first occurrences. I've also noticed on the other 2 pistols that they've started as well to get sort of gummy, and not really been a fan of that. So I will no longer be using the Frog Lube. Now again, maintaining kind of on the con side, it can actually potentially react with other chemicals. You know, the card that comes with the package, and what comes with the package, you get a nice microfiber towel, and you also get paste. At least with the kit I bought, I think I bought a kit 44 or 44 kit. But I will read this to you from the little maintenance instructions, as it says, Frog Lube should not be used with other petrochemical solvents or lubricants. Do not switch back and forth between other CLP products. Frog Lube is an alkali and petroleum-based products are acidic. Well, essentially what that means from a chemical standpoint is that if you don't completely remove all of a petroleum-based product from your weapon before you apply Frog Lube, this stuff could literally have a reaction and change its chemical composition to no longer be viscous and be a lubricant. And that potentially could have been the case for these pistols. When I applied it, I didn't necessarily completely clean the rifle all the way down to soaking it in some kind of a solvent remover. I just kind of wiped it down the best I could and cleaned it, you know, not a deep cleaning, but a typical kind of gun cleaning. One of the other things I noticed was that it is a good rust inhibitor. I've seen lots of videos out there saying how great of a rust prevention it is, and I did want to test that, and I'm not even going to continue that level of testing. If it can't lubricate my pistols, I don't want to shoot it. It also one of the other things that comes up with this lubricant is it recommends that you heat up your gun. And from my perspective of having to maintain a pistol, so on and so forth, I don't want to have to heat it up. You know, I want to throw some lubricant on it and know that it's going to seep into the metal as good as it's going to and not have to worry about heating it up. But from my perspective, I just don't want to have to do that. And I don't really find that, you know, to be an advantage. I definitely see that as a con. And there's just a couple other things I haven't been really impressed with. So, you know, it's saying it just works. Well, if I didn't do it right, then fine, it's my own fault and I can take responsibility for it. But, you know, from my perspective, I'm going to stick with my Slip 2000. I've never had a problem with this stuff. I've never had to heat my gun up to apply it. I don't have to worry about it if I have something like Remington oil on it or some other type of oil, that this is going to react with it. Those types of things. So from my perspective, this is what I'm going to continue to use. You know, it works with all types of guns, plastics, polymers, that kind of stuff. Just never had a problem with it, and I run all my ARs with it, and those are run hard and hot and just no problems. So from my perspective, Frog Lube gets, you know, an F or a D. Maybe I did it to myself, and from my perspective, this stuff will not continue to be run on my pistols or my rifles, and I will be continuing to use Slip 2000 until something else comes out on the market that, you know, makes me want to try it. And right now, that's not Frog Lube anymore. So hopefully this information gave you a little bit of heads up of, you know, what I've been using and what I find to be a good lubricant. 22s tend to be my favorite test beds because they do put out a lot of gunk and they allow for a lot of shooting with minimal costs. This pistol has just been fantastic for testing lubrication. Like I said, the Slip 2000 has been my favorite thus far. I've tested a couple others, you know, the Hops or Hopes, however you say it, and the Remington and those types of lubrications. Haven't really had any issues with those either. Just found that the Slip 2000 just seems to maintain its lubrication qualities just a tad bit better over you know, months and months of being in my safe, either using them or not using them. So hopefully, like I said, this gives you a little bit of information on some lubrication issues that I've come across, and if it helps one person, then great. So like I always say, a pistol's only as good as the shooter behind it, and so get out there, keep shooting, have fun, be safe, and thanks for watching.